So, could you talk a little bit about ordination, not necessarily the process, but more about the right and wrong reasons for going forth? Well, the right reason to go forth is for the end of suffering, for the complete ending and freedom from suffering. The wrong reason is any other reason. But we're not really that picky, and we're not we're not expecting people to really understand. It's like the meditators here now. We have this one meditator, a younger meditator from Canada, who we were talking about this, and I explained to him. I said, he said, "Oh, I've had it all wrong, and I really didn't understand what meditation was." And I said, really, that's how I was as well, and it's how most of us are. We come to meditation looking for something, but we're not looking for, we're not even looking for the right thing. And so the meditation actually doesn't generally give us what we're looking for, but it forces us to restate the question that we're asking. We may have thought that we're looking for some kind of wisdom or insight, but what we find really blows us away, because we realize that our idea of wisdom and insight was totally off base, and was totally shallow and superfluous or inconsequential. When it's only after you start meditating that you really realize why you should meditate. That's been my experience, and the experience of people who follow after me. So I'd say the same goes for monasticism. You don't have to be ordaining to realize nibbana, and a person who ordains just because they want to get away from society or so on could still be a good candidate for ordination, provided that they are meditating. I would say the worst candidate for ordination, well, not the worst, but a problem candidate for ordination that occurs quite often is the person who is ordaining because they want to become a monk. And this is so it's a person whose goal is to become a monk, and then after they become a monk, you have to convince them to meditate. This is much more difficult than a person who comes to meditate and then you convince them to become a monk, or they decide for themselves to become a monk. It's much better to go the other way around, and I much prefer a person who's not sure that they want to ordain but is well set in the meditation, to a person who really, really wants to become a monk, but is kind of so-so on the meditation side. People who are set on monasticism can often overshoot the goal and really miss the point of ordaining. And there's a lot of monks out there, believe it or not, who don't meditate. And so that's a problem. I would say on a fairly superficial level, simply put, the best reason to ordain is because you want more time to meditate. And you could also include in there wanting to help spread the teaching, or because of your respect for the teaching and wanting to live your life in support and in a dhammic or dharmic sort of way. But the core should be the desire to have more time and to be more focused on the meditation, to have the protection from your own defilements, to have the support in your spiritual growth. It should be as a means, not an end. Why are you ordaining? It's not because you want to become a monk. You want to become a monk because it's the best way to accomplish your goals, which are the freedom from suffering, the end of all suffering.